I do what I do. He knows what I'm about to tell him right now. It's Mr. Keep Running Your Mouth. That's what I do.
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire, and we gotta lock it up, I'm out on top.
Hey, look, as you can see how I'm looking, I stay solid. I'm always solid. I stay fucked solid up, right? You know what I'm saying? To the fans that know.
It's a great job outside the ring. I'm a fighter. Like I said before, ain't no safety on the clock, so I'm ready.
I'll take them how they come and make them look ordinary.
When I was a casual, I thought as a casual, I spoke like a casual, and I looked at boxing like a casual. But when I became a hardcore, I put away all those casual things. This is Michael Rogers, and welcome to Bodywork Boxing. What's going on? It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. And this is the episode of the top 5 myths in boxing. Number 3, there's too many belts. Now I can see how somebody like Devin would say that there's too many belts.
There's too many belts in boxing. What'd you think of that?
I mean, I don't think that he told a lie. It is too many belts, and that's the problem. In the lightweight division, that's the problem. They're making new belts when people have mandatories and stuff like that. It's like they make a whole new belt for guys to duck and get out of fights. And I definitely agree with him. And when Floyd said that, people thought that, like, well, I wouldn't say people thought, but people was coming at me. But it was like, I agreed. If it was 3-4 belts and it was the exact belts and not these minor titles and all that, I wouldn't have no problem with it. I wasn't mandatory. I didn't ask for a franchise belt. I never asked for another belt. I wanted to fight the mandatory. I worked my way. I entered the tournament to fight for the world title.
But he said another belt. So what do you mean by another belt? Meaning there were already 4 belts? And they sent you another belt? So you can't say you think there's too many belts in boxing and then you accept another belt that you didn't fight for. Okay, all right, moving right along. Okay, well, I remember when Canelo Alvarez went and fought Rocky Fielding. Taking his talents to the legendary Madison Square Garden for the first time, Canelo, 51-1-2 with 35 knockouts, dropped Rocky Fielding, 27-2, 15 KOs, 4 times en route to the 3rd round TKO to become the WBA regular super middleweight champion in front of a sold-out crowd of 20,112 people. And that was glorified as a whole 3-division champion, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? So, because that's why I say we got to be careful with what we approve of and what we disapprove of, because when we go back and we start doing some body work, we start seeing inconsistencies. And I see a major one because we approve Canelo and we bring up Rocky Fielding all the time. Just go to any random Canelo, Ginger, Alvarez, Plant, blah, 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 left at the altar type platform, you know, in the comment sections, and you'll see Rocky Fielding.
I'll take them how they come.
But what was Rocky Fielding? Rocky Fielding was a secondary belt. So without that, he wouldn't have the clout of having to be a 3-division champion, going to 168, getting a TKO against Rocky Fielding. However, our moral compass wants to point straight when we start talking about a person like Tank Davis. Now, he went up a weight to 140 and fought Mario Barrios, who many people can say they're not a world beater, but this is my thing. If you say there are too many belts in boxing, and there should only be 4 per division, then with all the boxers that we should have to wait on to see throughout the season, how will we ever see matches? What would they aspire for when there's only a certain amount of them making money? So, because you let people like Canelo Alvarez get away with stuff that he's doing to go fight for these belts and blah, 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 but then you want to discredit somebody like Tank, we're going to go fight for a secondary belt. Well, never mind that. Let me tell you why it all makes sense. Because we have a gentleman named Yordenis Ugas. Ugas for Abel Ramos for a vacant. Okay, people are like, yeah, Mike, so what? Well, when he did that, and the super welterweight WBA champ Manny Pacquiao decided to go inactive for whatever reason, political reasons, COVID, whatever. I don't, whatever you want to decide, however you want to decide. When he went dormant, he got stripped. But what did that do for Ugas, who fought for a regular belt? It put him in a position of want, in a position of need for other people who want to come and challenge, who wants to be undisputed. And the WBA upheld their agreement when the Spence-Pacquiao match moved forward. They said, nope, we're not going to reinstate him. We're going to let it keep and remain the same. So Ugas still held that belt, and by him fighting for a regular would substantiated him from the rest of the field. It allows him to be in a point of contention to be able to have all the marbles and be in the discussion for disputed somehow, some way, because those last 2 belts have to be had. We can play all day, but we got to cut it up the way it is. So myth number 3 out of the top 5 myths in boxing, that there are too many belts, debunked. Body work.
Is this not why you are here? My word, I do what I do. He knows what I'm about to tell him right now. It's Mr. Keep running your mouth. That's what I do.
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire, we gotta lock it up, I'm out on top.
Hey, look, as you can see how I'm looking, I stay solid. I'm always solid. I stay fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? To the fans that know.
Do that job outside the ring. I'm a fighter. Like I said before, there ain't no safety on the clock, so I'm ready.